Okay, it's recording.
So now I just do my thing.
Yeah, do your thing.
Hey y'all, my name is Leah B, and this is Talk It Out.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Locoglenncoco, and I'm here with my bestest friend Leah B in the building. I just want to say thank you so much for being here and being my first guest on my new series for my YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it means so much that you're the first person, and you were literally the first person I thought of to want to talk to, because I just felt like you've had such an interesting year, to say the least, full of growth and things you've had to overcome. And I just wanted to check in and talk it out and figure out, where are you now and how are you doing? How are you doing?
Oh my gosh. 2020 kicked my ass. Okay. Beyond belief. Oh my gosh. But I'm good. I'm really good now, in a good place, and just really focused on bettering this year, kind of experiencing new things this year. But I'm really trying to get into my hustle for personal training and things like that right now, since the performing industry is kind of at a standstill. It's steady, but at the same time, it's not really as consistent as it was before. I mean, understandably so. I'm good.
I mean, you're surviving. You're
Yeah.
doing the thing. And I know when we were back in school, it was also about realizing that thing that you can do outside of performing. And you found that, and you're really going full steam ahead with that. And I'm sure that's bringing you opportunities that you didn't think that you would have right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Training is it's not where I saw myself at the beginning of the year. Come January, if you would have told me that in December I'd be working as a personal trainer at a gym, I'd be like, for what?
Tell them what you're doing.
So I am a personal trainer at this gym called Exports. It's in Matson, Illinois. And then I also am a fitness representative and a supervisor at one of the hospitals out here. So I am a two-job shawty,
Yes.
But yeah, so I got two jobs, and I'm also developing my own personal training business on the side right now. Really working on developing my clientele, and hopefully, one day I might have my own working and exercise studio here soon. So
Yes.
be on the lookout.
People need that, especially in all types of times, good times, bad times, corona times, summertime. People want to feel good, be fit, and be inspired. So I think you're in the perfect field. And I remember in even being a freshman, your journey with your fitness and your workout goals. I've seen growth. I've seen you maybe lose some steam, and then seeing you go back, and it's just inspiring to see you continue to have this path of fitness throughout the journey I've known you.
Yeah, what I try to tell everyone is that I'm human just like you are. When you have your spells of laziness, or you have your my schedule gets really busy, and the first thing that goes out the window is going to the gym. Exercising and taking care of yourself is the first thing that goes out the window, and I'm human just like you, and it happens. So now I feel like I'm in a position where I have to encourage people to live a different life. So I have to kind of lead a different life. So it literally lights a fire under my butt to keep me fit, just because I want to encourage other people to be fit. So it's been you saw me. Oh my gosh, I gained the freshman 15, then lost the freshman 15. Yeah. Oh yeah, I got thick, and then I said, hold on, wait a minute. Took that summer, came back no longer thick. And then have just been fluctuating ever since, just finding myself a happy medium, not trying to be obsessive about going to the gym, but also I want to look like I work out a little bit.
Okay, so I guess the first question is how was 2020 for you?
Boring. So boring. Boring. I feel boring to the point where so many of the months just felt the same. just kind of going by, but also yet so eventful. Like it was like all the events were happening around and not in my life. Like I think the way it started off, right, with the beginning of the year, Kobe dying.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, it just feels like it spiraled downhill. But where did we even start? 2020, we did Cabaret.
Mm-hmm.
January,
Let's start January. Let's actually
that
start.
was January, like Cabaret.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to New York.
Mm-hmm. March.
I mean, at March, when we came back, life as we knew it was like,
Mm-hmm.
I literally remember I was sitting in a Mr. Beta Phi practice, and the guys were getting up and about to go practice their speeches in front of everyone. And I remember we all got the email that classes after, I think practice was on a Wednesday, and it was like classes after this Friday are all virtual.
March 11th, which is my birthday. That's when
Yes.
CDC officially said COVID was in the United States.
And at this time, like we had heard of other schools closing, like other schools were just dropping left and right. People were like closed, virtual, no more meeting in person. And we're all like, what? Like, what's going on? And some of us were like, yes, we want to close for like a week. Like we want to close for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Like we want to close and then come back, like have a little bit of an extended spring break. Like we were for sure thinking that we were coming back to school. We just wanted a little bit more of a break.
Mm-hmm.
As we all know, that's not what happened. But I remember everyone's face. Huh?
Be careful what you wish for.
Okay, because we overshot our shot. Okay, we definitely shot it in theirs. But I remember everyone's face. Like when we all read that email, we were just like, so do we keep practicing? Like that was the question we were all asking. Like, is this like over? Do we not even have a pageant anymore? Like, should we just quit right now? And we did. Like, we dispersed. We're like, I guess thank you for being here, and that's it. Like there was nothing else that we could say. And so everyone left, and people, that day started going home. Like we had our last hurrah, our last little like get together with everyone. And that was the last time we saw, that was the last time I saw some of my classmates since March of last year. It's almost a year again. And some people we didn't even get to see again because everyone didn't come to, we had like a last like little senior celebration for the theater majors, and not everyone came out. So it's been over a year since I've seen some of my friends.
I remember that day like it would just happen, because it was literally, I remember going out to the bar, was super drunk, woke up, threw up, and I had to present my one-man show. Did an excellent job, if I might say so myself. And then last minute got everyone together to go to Puertas.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you were there on time with Chris, and we're there celebrating. I think there was an email as well that was sent out right like as my birthday dinner was ending. And then we all read it and we were like, what the hell do we do now? And I think we literally then was like, goodbye to everybody. Yeah, it was super sad. Such an interesting day that I don't think I'll ever forget.
It feels like, this is so bad to say, but it feels like our version of 9/11. Like it's the big monumental thing that shifted our lives. Like, and the pandemic has just been wreaking havoc on the world ever since. Like, that day is what I think made it real for all of us. Like, oh shoot, if this is big enough to shut our school down, and like now we have to go to virtual classes, like maybe this is kind of something, like maybe something's happening. That was very pivotal for us. Very, very pivotal.
But like, I think like you specifically, not only did you have to deal with COVID, you were also in like an epicenter of social injustice. Like you were in Chicago during the summer riots and summer protests. You were in the space where people were looting. And like, not only were you fighting a global pandemic, you were fighting civil unjust in your own turf, in your own backyard. So can you speak like how that was?
Yeah. So, I moved out to Chicago in May, right after graduation, literally the day after. And I was staying in an area where it was pretty ratchet. There was a lot of things going on over there. I mean, I was safe and I was fine. I mean, clearly I'm good, but it was a place where things that were like what was happening with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and everything else that has been happening in the year, it hit hard in those areas, and people very much responded to what was going on. So there were lots of protests going on, there was really, really heavy police presence all the time. Like at any given time, I could walk around the block and there were like 3 cop cars going every which way, undercover cars, like just looking for anything, everything, because people were going crazy. Looting was crazy. Now I was out there, okay? I was out there. I was out there, But the thing is, like, and I mean, I'll say it, I don't know who the cop was. I ain't getting no badge number or nothing. So I hope don't nobody try and track these men down, like who was over here on that day. But when we went out there, well, let me tell you how it happened first, how we ended up even going out in the first place. So I told y'all the place that I was staying, it was crazy. So of course, when looting was going on and people, it's like free stuff. Like over there, they were going nuts, they were going to town. So I didn't know that they were going crazy until one time I had to go out for something and I got in the car, start driving down the street, and I just see people like running around out the liquor store with big old cases of alcohol. I'm like, they're robbing the liquor store. They're looting the liquor store. So I go home and I tell everyone, I'm like, they're looting the liquor store. Right. And everyone's response to me is, well, go get some.
Right. Well, what are you talking to us for?
Right. Like, if you don't get it, we ain't gonna have none. So you better go, like, we need to go stock up. So go get it. I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. So I go put my all black on. I go get my black hat. I put,
all black.
All black, baby, had the mask on, no identifying factors, like, and we pulled it was me and my boyfriend's niece. So her 18-year-old self is running around with me looting. And so we pulled up to the back of the liquor store and there are cops right there. I'm like, fuck, like they're like, I'm gonna go to jail. I haven't even done anything yet, but I'm going to jail. Like, I'm like, fuck. Because they they know what we're here for. Just the way we pulled up, like they know what we're here for. We was backwards.
With the trunk open.
You know what I mean? Like, what? We came prepared. Yes. So we're like, oh shit. Like, we're for sure gonna get caught. Like, there's no way we're gonna get anything. And the cops were like, get what you want, just don't block the alleyway. We got lots of free alcohol that day. We came back, showed them all that we got. They was like, oh my gosh, y'all crazy. And they was like, oh, they looting the beauty supply and something else. They're looting something else. And we was just like, okay, like, all right. They was like, go. Like, if you don't go get it, we ain't gonna have none. Mm-hmm. So we had to go back out again. And this time we took more people with us. And got more stuff and came back. But I mean, they were absolutely right, because when I tell you that after the looting and everything was done, like everything was shut down for so long, like gated and closed. And I mean, of course, people have to rebuild. Like you can rip me all you want. Your beauty supply was probably open. So I don't want to hear nothing. So, okay. Like, so, like it was absolutely crazy. And I feel bad for all of the, store owners and everybody that had to experience all those things. But it's literally a sign of people. I don't think it was just like, for the most part, there were some people that were just in it for the greed and just whatever. But there were also some people who were just like really pissed off. that the government and that, you know, the people that are sworn to protect and serve were yet again not protecting and not serving. I mean, hell, look at what they were doing at the liquor store. Like, take what you want, just don't block the alleyway. But then it's like, then we want to find these people and arrest these people, but we were standing there and letting them do whatever they wanted. So I'm like, it's a double-edged sword. Like, there are pros and cons to whatever decision you choose to make. If you were out there, there are pros and cons to that. If you were not out there, there are pros and cons to that. Like, yeah. So it was crazy.
I mean, I think I remember like talking to you. You were like telling me this in like real time, and I'm like, oh my god, like this is crazy. I can't believe you did that. But yeah, I also think it's rooted in oppression. Like, I think a lot of people, as well as people who are greedy, as well as people who are angry, there were people who really needed these things. There were people who really needed hair supplies, food supplies, you know, and they thought this was their reparations in a sense, where this is the time to get these things because the government isn't providing for them. The government isn't making sure they're safe, so they're gonna do what they need to survive and take care of their family. And this was a moment for that. It's sad. It's just sad all around. The cycle of oppression, the police brutality, the store owners who are losing profits and having to deal with all these damages. But you know, also a capitalistic society where, you know, they benefit from.
Yeah.
So it's really
everybody kept saying, it's like they have insurance. They're gonna just rebuild. And I mean, that has happened all around. People have just rebuilt. And I know there are tons of people in the world that haven't and can't afford to. And you know, I'm so sorry to all of you. Like, it was like, I'm gonna take what is owed to me, because I've had to endure all of this injustice, is what it was really feeling like at the time. And that was the energy of like, everyone was very angry, very, very angry. And it was like, fuck the consequences. Like, I'm going to go out and do some reckless shit because the people that are supposed to be in positions of power are out here doing reckless shit. So I'm going to go and do whatever it is that I want to do and, you know, say fuck the police. Like, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. That was the energy all around.
Do you know the song that just came out by this woman on YouTube? Earth is ghetto, I wanna leave. Oh, Earth is ghetto, I wanna leave. Yes. I'm gonna send it to you. It's
Okay.
5. It's a mood, and Earth is ghetto. I want to go to wherever else is better because, you know, thank God Donald Trump is out of the house, the White House. I think we all did what we should have done and could do to get him out of there. I think it's very interesting that he's been impeached twice and still was able to serve a full-length presidency. But yeah, I'm excited, nervous, scared about where our country is going to go. I was just listening to someone on CNN, and she said every time there is progression for Black people, there is a riot, there is chaos, there is a sense to push us back. I mean, if you think about when we were freed, quote unquote, the 13th Amendment, and then they started Jim Crow, then they started grandfathering laws and rules so Black people can't vote and do X, Y, and Z. And then we had the beautiful civil rights movement and era, and then after that came more oppression and set us back, and they introduced crack into our neighborhoods, and and then we get Barack Obama, and that was another high for us. And then what happened after Barack Obama? We get Donald Trump. So there's just this cycle of every time we progress, white people want to set us back. and they're upset and they're scared and they're angry, because we prevail despite everything that they try to do to keep us down.
Where there's a will, there's a way. I'm like, do we believe in the same God? Because I'm like you really think that he was just gonna let y'all continue to live this way for the entire time? Like, we was never gonna have no up. There was never gonna be no light at the end of any tunnel. Like, don't get me wrong, we got a long way to go. But we are taking steps every single day. This, like, the Black Lives Matter movement, like there are other countries screaming Black Lives Matter. Like, everybody across the world, it is the largest movement in the entire world. The largest, because everyone everywhere is saying it. And it's funny because it just seems like white people just won't get it. They just won't listen to it. And it feels like an insult in saying maybe like their lives don't, or, you know, we're trying to exclude people, but we're just trying to say that ours matter just as much as yours, and trying to
Black Lives Matter too.
Exactly.
That's it. It matters too.
Yep. Exactly that. And that's all that I feel like we've been trying to communicate all throughout 2020, is that our lives matter too. And I think that this year was I think 2020 was a big year for Black people to be seen and in a light different than I feel like Black people are normally seen. Like, it really picked up steam 2020. Like, and I hate that it had to be at the hands and at the loss of lives. Like, especially all the police brutality going on, like especially George Floyd. Oh my gosh. Like, I really like can't even get my brain to think that really happened. Like, that this is like an actual part of life. Like, this is definitely a case, something that has to go in the history books, and we lived right through it. And that's just really powerful to take in for this life. But it's like all that 2020 was for a chance for us to finally say, like, hello, stop killing us. You know, we are just as human as you are. And I feel like a little bit of people listen. Or for me, I feel like I was a little bit more shocked at how many people listened.
I think what it was is a lot of people who aren't Black, eyes were open.
Yes.
They like, oh,
mm-hmm.
I get it. Oh, I was doing this. I was being prejudiced. I was being biased. I had this. I was doing this. I am a product of privilege. And I think a lot of people had conversations with their Black friends about race and about privilege and about racism. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many Facebook messages, how many Facebook posts I got that I was tagged in, just saying sorry, and
yes,
that they want to do better. And while I appreciated that, for the most part, I didn't respond to them. For the most part, I didn't say, like, what do you want me to say? like
it's okay that you're privileged and
I
don't get killed. And it's just guilt. It's just guilt.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I can put two and two together and figure out why you feel the way that you feel. What do you want me to do with I'm sorry? Why can't you just do better? Be educated and treat people. I feel like that just goes a little bit.
So how are you and Chris?
You're good. We're so good. It's so funny because 2020, like you said, we spent 2.5 years not living together and doing long distance, always traveling. If we wanted to see each other, it was easily anywhere between 4 hours up to 12 hours, taking that trip just to get to one another. And we were doing that at least once a month for 2.5 years. So when we got to living together in May, it was really interesting because it was almost like we were in a honeymoon phase all over again. Like, it was like we started over because we were in each other's presence finally. Like, you know, I see you, you see me. Like, there is no reconnecting. There's no like poor connection. There's not, like we're right here. And I think like it was really the honeymoon phase, and we were both not working, so getting unemployment, just racking money, sitting
unemployment.
getting unemployment, just
unemployment. My God.
Oh, the money, child. My savings
you,
was
like,
looking
going back and forth about it.
Yes.
To figure it out. Just trying to get it together.
I'm sending you the workers emails and like, yes, reach out, like get your stuff together. Like,
it sure did work.
Yes.
It sure
and
did.
That's why we're friends.
You got this, but I'll put it in anyway. I said, well, thank you.
Don't need to know how you got this, but just help me out. Thank you. So we were getting unemployment, just racking it up. Like I remember we sat and watched all of Game of Thrones like in like 2 weeks. Game of Thrones, like 6 seasons, every episode is like an hour, some over an hour. We were up till like 6 a.m. some nights just watching Game of Thrones together because we didn't have anything else to do. Like that was our life. So that was really fun for a while. And then it was not fun.
When did it stop being fun?
So we were doing that from maybe like May until I got my job in September. I got my first job out here in September. So all the way from May to September, I was not working and being home all day and just eating and gaining weight and just being crazy. And I think about like August, the whole time we were applying for jobs. We were on Indeed, we were on Glassdoor, trying to get some temp agencies and things, but things were just literally not open in Chicago. Not open. Like it was not a matter of this place is hiring or whatever. Like, no, things were not open. And unless you were going to do the backbreaking labor of UPS or Amazon or FedEx or whatever warehouse you want to go to, getting a job was impossible. So we were applying, but sitting around, and I finally got a job at Orange Theory. And that was fantastic. But it was hard to get started out here, but we were great. Like we were figuring it out. We were very supportive of one another. Like if somebody was down, I had him, and if I'm down, he had me. Like it was very great. But I will tell you, like it's a test to live with your significant other and to be home all day and to be in each other's faces all day. It is a test of your patience.
2 questions. What did you learn from moving in, from being long distance to being finally in his presence every day? And then what did you learn about Chris? What did you relearn about Chris?
An answer to both is like, I have to be patient, and that we don't know each other as much as we thought we knew each other. And that like, this is very much still a learning process. And our feelings and our emotions and our mannerisms and things are not just a given. Like these are things that have to be explained and talked about and taught. Like there's so much talking that you have to do. Like, my God, like just to communicate with one another about what you like and what you don't like. Like everything is not just a given. You can read to a certain extent. That's why I feel like in the beginning, it's very much, you can read body language and, you're being intimate with someone and it's like, I can tell if you like this or if you don't like this. But after a certain point, we've been together for 3 years now. Sometimes the things that I liked before, I don't really like anymore. And I want to do something else, and I want to try something new, and I want to, I want to feel something different. And that's something difficult to communicate to someone if they're, stuck in their pattern of the way things have been. And now you're just waking up like, I want to switch. And that person, you want that person to be like, okay, let's switch. But what do you do when they're like, no?
Do you feel like Chris is someone who is capable of growing with you?
Yes.
And so when you were speaking about like trying something new I love that you the things that you used to like, you may not like anymore. And I feel like that is such a growth and such an introspective thing to realize that okay, I want to try something new, and I hope you are willing to take that journey with me.
Yep. And there have been some moments where at first he is not willing. There are some things where he's like, no. Like, I don't want to do that. But it's also like, that's how you feel right now. And I'm learning a lot. I think this is something that we've both been kind of seeing, is that not everything that we say in that moment is going to affect us right then in that moment. And sometimes we have to be just in a different point in life to be able to understand what that person was saying, like in the way that they meant it. And that takes patience. That takes extreme patience to be able to wait on someone to get your point, because you feel like you're communicating it so clearly that it should just be understood now, and that's not the case.
Literally, this is something I'm working with my therapist. Like, I'm working out of this, but like, I had high expectations of people, and when someone didn't do something that I thought was the bare minimum of like decency, or like, you know, just like, you know, something I would do for somebody else and they didn't do it for me, I shut down. I have a grudge. I go into this dark spiral of thoughts about this person. And what I realized, that has everything to do with me and not them. You know, I do something out of the kindness of my heart, and that's it. They're not bound to me. They're not bound to give me that same thing back.
Yep.
At all. But what is nice is to then find those people who do give you those things.
Yes.
And those are the people you keep in your life. I had to practice patience. I was saying in my last video, like for 8-9 years, I had no idea what patience was, because I was in this industry where it's about instant gratification.
Yep.
It's about now. It's about getting this audition. It's about getting this job. It's about getting this summer work. It's about getting this note because your teachers are telling you to. And it's about flexibility because you want to be, you know what I mean? It's just about all of these things now, so you can be someone else.
Yep.
After, you know what I mean? It's never really about who you are. It's about being someone else or fitting someone else's box. So I am learning patience. Corona has stopped me, put me on pause, made me wait, made me realize that I don't have no patience for myself, and I don't have patience for other people.
I feel you. Yes.
And it's something I'm working on, and I can say that I'm getting better each day, but sometimes I don't have those good days, and sometimes I fall into old habits, but I'm able to recognize them.
Yeah.
I'm able to not spend so long in that dark place. I'm able to replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts and move on.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm working with. And the fact that I mentioned patience like a couple of times, I'm like, well, damn, I'm there too.
Yeah. Oh, and I think this is our time. This is our time. Like, just especially our age group. I think I like to surround myself with like-minded people. I would say that. And I feel like the people I surround myself are kind of more mature thinkers and people who are able to have educated conversations. And I just think that when we got out of school and are, you know, just kind of where we are in life right now, we just kind of have to make these decisions about ourselves. Like, how are we about to navigate this life? Do we want to live the hard way, or do we want to be able to communicate our concerns, conflicts? Like, do we want to be able to operate with other humans well? Like, we literally have to make that decision. Like, and people can decide whatever they want, to each his own, but we have to leave and enter the world and say, okay, how do I want everyone to look at me? And if you want to be looked at as the hothead that can't keep friends and, you know, whatever else, like you can do that. But if you want people to enjoy their time around you, if you want to be that bright light, you know, the party in the room, like how I feel like most of the people I'm around are like the party starters. If that's who you want to be, you kind of have to develop yourself a little different, you know, if you haven't been on that path forever. And I think where we just came from taught us a lot of bitterness and a lot of anger and a lot of animosity and just a lot of like resentment and a lot of hate in our heart. Like it put it there because it felt that way a lot of the time, like that we were resented and hated and like we weren't feeling represented and heard and seen. Like we were not feeling those things. So I think that we could, and I feel you, like I feel you entering the world and kind of having to shed yourself of some of those experiences and things in life to become like we're butterflies in our cocoon and like coming out and becoming new people right now.
Do you feel like Chris changed your life?
Oh, for sure. For sure. If y'all, I don't know if y'all want to say good or bad. I want to say great. I've learned so much with him, like just about who I am as a person and how to love people better.
How are you managing relationships and family during 2020?
That is very different. Family is crazy. A little like backstory, my family is nuts, literally nuts. And I'm like, and I don't mind being open with my family because I mean, hell, if it's a secret, you shouldn't have done it. If it's a secret, you shouldn't have done it. Like, that's what I think. Like, I don't know. I just don't believe in keeping things from people. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm an open book. I'm just not. I'm going to continue to be who I am, and my family's a part of me. And so I feel like I shouldn't have to be silenced because other people want to be silenced. But they're nuts, and and I'm a part of it, so I'm nuts too. Whatever. But
I'm nuts with them.
Look, right. So we're all just nuts, and it's been really different because, like I said, I moved in May, and this is the farthest I've ever lived from like all of my family. Like my brother goes to Ball State still, and this is the farthest I've ever been from him. And then the rest of my family now lives in Florida, so this is like the super farthest I've ever been away from them. So we FaceTime a lot. When the holidays were coming up, when everybody was around, we were making sure that we were getting together and seeing one another as much as we could. And but it's been about FaceTime and just trying to tell each other we love each other through messages, sending each other funny pictures and videos. And like 2020, I think really brought me closer to my siblings, like just made me really focus on family more. Like seeing people's family members being taken so quickly at any age, at any point in time, like by this crazy virus. Like I think it kind of heightened my senses a little bit, my awareness of how I am and how I treat my siblings as their big sister, because I'm the oldest. So I'm like, I finally took 2020 to step out of my like very motherly and protective role, and I got to step into big sister role. And that has been, like, it feels so great. Like, I don't have any responsibility over them. Like, I don't feel like I have to guide your footsteps and hold your hand and walk them through everything. I feel like I get to be like the fun auntie when you come over. Like,
I'm very thankful for having this conversation with you. I know that we've talked about all types of things, but I felt like they were really relevant to what's going on in our life right now, and where we are and who we were and where we're going. And I just want to thank you and wish you all the blessings. And yeah, you already know what it is.
You know what it is, baby. We hang up and we talk again tomorrow.
Yes. Hey guys, thanks again for watching this first episode of my new YouTube series, Talk It Out. And this is my special guest, Eliah. I want to say thank you so much. So everyone give a big clap to you.
Thank you. Mwah. Thank you.
Your social medias are?
Follow me on Instagram at Training with Leah B, or follow me on Instagram at The Real Johnson. Also on Twitter at The Real Johnson.
Yes. And make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.